0, Brighton 6. 6. Dennis Undav and Danny Welbeck have just scored braces against us. Oh god, that was so Burnley 4-0. That was so Derby 5-0 when we lost 5-0 to Derby at the iPro. Will Hughes looked like prime Iniesta. And to be honest, that was coming. It was like I didn't. I wish I did tweet it because when I saw that lineup when it first came out, I was going to tweet 3-0 Brighton incoming, and I was like, I'm not going to do that because people will just say I'm a hater on Lopetegui, or I'm just being negative, whatever. So I just ignored it. But that game was so predictable. Obviously not 6-0. 6-0 is embarrassing, and that's a very unique situation. But look, Lopetegui's done a good job. Obviously, I'm not slagging him off entirely, but some of his decisions are so baffling, and people are just scared to criticise it because he's Julian Lopetegui and he's managed Real Madrid, and they just refuse. Like if Bruno Lage or Steve Davis or even like Kenny Jackett made some of these decisions, people would criticise it, but people are so scared to criticise it, and it's weird. Like this lineup is so defensive. You got Matthias Nunes playing off the wing again for the millionth time. I know it wasn't exactly a 4-3-3; it kind of changed, but it wasn't the 4-4-2, which every time we've played it, we've looked pretty good. Apart from did we play against Leeds? I can't remember, but the lineup was bizarre. Like, look, Diego Costa's been okay for Wolves, but let's be honest, and be totally honest with me. If Diego Costa put in the performances he has for Wolves at any other Premier League club, would you want him at Wolves? No, you wouldn't. He only looks good when Matthias Cunha's around him. Why the hell are you dropping Matthias Cunha to play Matthias Nunes on the wing? It's bizarre. Why do you need 4 central midfielders when you're going away to Brighton? Bro, Brighton played their second string midfield and still bossed all 4 of our central midfielders. It's pointless. I don't know why Lopetegui is so scared to play just a 4-4-2 away from home. He did it at Anfield with Dexter Mbakisa at right back. Why is he so scared to do it away to Brighton? It's genuinely bizarre. Look, I actually thought Neto did okay, and I had no issue with Neto starting, but if you had Costa, Neto, Cunha in a 4-4-2 with Nunes on the wing, you can maybe understand it. But Nunes today, that was genuinely one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen from a Wolves player. It was hilarious. It was hilariously bad. And the fact that he ended up playing right back was something else. And look, people say, oh, well, Nunes, he should be playing here. And if you play him there or there or there or there, it's unfair. And I get it. But he's been here a while now. He's 24. He's not a 19-year-old kid, Nunes. He's an experienced international. There's no excuse for not being able to play a 5-yard pass. And for the 5th goal or the 6th goal, when Nunes is like here and gets the ball from Sarr, obviously Jose Sarr shouldn't play the ball. But Nunes drops the shoulder. Every time he gets the ball, drops the shoulder left. This is the Premier League, mate. People have scouting teams. Do you not think Brighton scouts would have gone, Nunes always drops the shoulder? Come on, it's not complicated. He does it every time. Even when he's running down the wing, he'll always drop the shoulder and go inside. Bro, he needs to he's so underdeveloped as a footballer, it's bizarre. And look, maybe he'd play better if he gave him a run of games there, but I understand why Bruno Lage didn't trust him to do that, because every time I've watched him, he's not ball secure. So why would you play him in the midfield too? Jose Sarr was woeful. I'm never really a fan of dropping goalkeepers, but if Dan Bentley does play against Villa, I wouldn't be bothered. And there's a lot of good goalkeeping talent available in the summer, so if Wolves do want to get rid of him, would you have any complaints? Not really. The lineup was embarrassing, the subs are embarrassing, and Lopetegui does this a lot. He's picked a lot of bad starting lineups, especially away from home. And look, I'm not saying stats are everything, because they're not, and we've obviously been better under Lopetegui. I would argue that, I said this on Twitter when we hired him a couple of months ago, and I got stick for it, but this squad is good enough to be mid-table. So I think any competent manager would have got better out of this team, but if you look at Wolves, right, this is since when Lopetegui took over, we're 9th. That's great. But, if you look at expected points, which I'm not saying is a perfect metric, by the way, but we're 5th bottom. We've got 27 points in that time. But really, according to expected points, we should have 17. If we'd have had 17 points under Lopetegui, that means we'd have 10 points left than we have now, and we'd be on 27 points, and we'd be 2nd bottom. And that's not even including the Brighton game. Wait, Forest are actually losing? Lol. Get fucked. You absolute that's cheered me up a bit. But we haven't actually been that good. We've been better under Lopetegui, but there's still a lot of work needs to be done. I'm not saying you have to sack him, but I just find it annoying how some fans put their ears They cover their ears and go, la, 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 you can't slag off Lopetegui. I got so much stick for... Anyway, whatever. I just don't get why he's so scared of going away from home. If any other Wolves manager did it, it'd be bizarre. I still don't get the 8 Nuri thing. Like, you know, if we don't have a fullback on the bench, Johnny's back, Dexter Lembekisa's there, 8 Nuri's there. That's bizarre. I don't... Look, and I'm not absolving the players of blame, by the way. They were pathetic. You could tell they weren't arsed. You could tell they've given up. You can tell they basically just accepted we're staying up, which is ridiculous. But I do think some questions need to be asked. I'm not saying sack him before people start crying on Twitter. 6-0 to Brighton. If you asked anyone on Wolves Twitter, any Wolves fan, would you pick this lineup? No one would. And again, look, I love Mario Lemina. I think he's been brilliant. He was awful. I really rate Max Kilman. He was awful. I rate Semedo. He was awful. Bueno wasn't great. So I'm not blaming it all on Lopetegui, but surely the players aren't happy playing like that. And it's so bizarre. We're safe, bro. We're safe. Like, we are safe. Regardless of this performance, we're safe. You know, we've got an 8-point gap with 4 games. We're safe, bro. Why are you playing such a defensive formation away at Brighton? Brighton aren't even in that good of form. They've just come off an FA Cup game where they've used all their energy and lost to Forest. Why are you being so defensive in such a pointless game? I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand what he's thinking. It's... Oh, God. Whatever. I feel, for any of you that went to Brighton to watch that game, fair play. I have so much respect for you. But I think this game's taught us so much. Nunes isn't actually as good as people make out. Lopetegui does deserve to be questioned a bit. Diego Costa can't play up front on his own. And if he can't play up front on his own, why are so many of our fans wanting to sign him? It's embarrassing. If Diego Costa played for Forest, and he put in the performances for Forest he had for us, no one wanted us to buy him off Forest. He's not very good. We need some competition for Semedo, as good as he's been under Lopetegui for the most part. We don't have a backup right back. And, God, anyway, whatever. I don't really know what else to say. It was embarrassing. I think Lopetegui needs... I swear... What's our next away game? I don't even know what our next away game is. We've got Villa next, right? Man United, I swear to God, if he picks this lineup against Man United, if he goes fucking 4-3-3 with Nunes on the wing and Costa up front of his own, no Cunha. If he does it against Villa, I'll be annoyed. But if he does it away from home against Man United, I'm done with this guy, man. Oh, he's so irritating. Again, look, I'm not... People will go, expected points is a dumb stat. It kind of is in certain regards. So I'm not saying sack him just because expected points doesn't say we're good as it looks like. I'm not saying that. But the underlying numbers aren't as good as you think they'll be. And of course, this squad needs work, and it's really unbalanced. I do feel sorry for Lopetegui in that regard. It's not all Lopetegui's fault. I just find it weird how you get so much stick on Twitter for even suggesting Lopetegui's made mistakes. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Subscribe to the channel to make me feel better. Like the video. And if you went to that Brighton game, fair play. You got my respect. But yeah.